You've driven me to drink. This is you. Bloody 9 o'clock in the morning. With brandy, but I can't admit it's brandy because people judge me. Shh. I work nights, it's fine. Hey guys, so I want to talk about anchor points. Now, this is after I watched a video from Malta Archery 3 days ago, 4 days ago. It wasn't Armin, but cats. Now, in the film, Jeremy Renner's anchor point is here. And in all fairness, if you watch CW's Arrow, this is also Stephen Amell's anchor point. Right underneath the chin, as opposed to the more common fishhook anchor point. And the point that they got across was this anchor obviously obscures the face, which is not that great if you're a Hollywood actor or an amazing Canadian, because people want to see the moneymaker. But as I was watching and I saw that, and it was only very briefly that they commented on it, I started thinking about one of the guys who goes to my archery club. Now, this guy is a phenomenal archer. He's a traditional archer. He shoots English longbows. In fact, he makes beautiful English longbows, and that's what he shoots. I've seen him shooting a few times, obviously, because where I finish work at silly o'clock in the morning, it's almost no one's there. We have a lovely big open field, but yeah, I'm rambling. Anyway, I was watching him one morning as I was setting up, and his anchor point was, in fact, his whole form was pretty impressive. But he drew back and would stop about there. You probably can't tell because of the horrible ginger beard, but I'm stopping just before I actually touch my chin. And I watched him for quite a while doing this, and that's where he was every single time. Maybe a little bit lower, but still, it was the first time I'd actually seen that kind of anchor point outside of media, and I've learnt to take media archery with a few barrels of salt. But yeah, he absolute phenomenal archer. I'm pretty sure he could hit the wings off of a fly. And he uses that anchor every single time. And over the last few days, I've started to think about Gray's anchor point. I saw a video from Gray Archer again a few years ago, and he explained his anchor point is, or at least the one he was using in the video, was focusing more on the knuckle of the finger and putting that underneath the cheekbone. And when I think about my anchor points, that's what I do personally, and that it's something that I picked up from Gray, so I call it the Gray anchor. But when I focus on that rather than the fish hook, because there is a difference, my consistency, my shooting, my aiming all seems to go up quite a bit because of that different anchor point, and it's not the textbook one that a lot of instructors would use, which is also probably a reason why I don't teach at my club. I mean, there are many reasons, but that's probably one of them. But the difference in terms of the actual anchor, mine is there and my index finger is in the middle of my lips, as opposed to the fish hook. It's minuscule, but it makes a difference, and it makes a difference to me. But when you start looking at different types of archery, again, the anchor point changes. You have Eastern archery with Turkish, with Japanese, Mongolian, where the anchor point can go from where the beard starts, bottom of the chin, right back there at the top of the beard, up at the eye line. And when it comes to the more traditional Chinese archery, the anchor point isn't actually a fixed point on the face. It's entirely to do with the arrow. So a fairly long bamboo arrow like this, the anchor point would be when the arrow is coming to your fingers. So with this particular arrow, it's quite a big difference. That's 32-inch draw, I think it would be, maybe 33. But the main point I want to strive at and harp on about without too much rambling, because the cat has brought me to drink. There are textbook correct anchor points. But like with everything in archery and the progression of archery, it comes down to the individual and what actually works for you. So I would recommend trying different types of anchor points and seeing which feels the best for you. You're not going to stumble across one magic one that will make every single arrow hit everything. But you will find one that you'll notice works better for you personally, regardless of what type of archery you do, whether you shoot a compound, whether you shoot a hybrid like the Oneida, whether it's more traditional like a longbow or a Mongolian bow or a Turkish bow or whatever. Find that archery anchor point that works for you, and don't really be dictated by people who say that the fishhook is how you're meant to anchor. Archery is very personal and it's what works for you. As long as it's not extremely dangerous and wrong, you're good to go.